Pastor Scott here. Wanted to come to you today to give you some very important information as we walk through the next few steps, dealing with coronavirus, dealing with social distancing, all the things that are going on here in our facilities. Just a real quick plug for this Sunday, by the way. I want to encourage you to read 1 Timothy chapter 6 as we continue our series looking at this question of why. So I encourage you to do that as we go throughout this week, all right? But with that, I wanted to share a few things with you again that deal with our facilities here. You know, one of the questions we've had over the last few weeks, and I've had this question asked from multiple people, is when will we go back to having an early service? And so I kind of want to touch on that and speak to you about that. Last night, Wednesday, July the 29th, we brought together some of our leadership, our deacons. We brought together our committee leaders, our staff, our Sunday school leaders, and had a meeting with those who could come last night to talk about some of these issues that we've got coming up. And in that meeting, we can continue to talk about what this will look like, because we all know this, that right now for many people who are traveling in the summer months, a lot of them will come back in whenever school is back in session. Typically, what happens is this: whenever school gets back in session, we see anywhere between a 30 to 50 attendance rise in attendance. And so right now, our attendance in worship service in the building is around 150 on an average Sunday morning. And so if trends continue, we're going to see that number rise. And so again, the question has been, when will we go back to having two services? Well, from the discussion we had last night, our decision we want to do is this: we're going to evaluate how our attendance looks as we move into the next few weeks with school starting back. Many of you know that Kingfisher schools kicks back on August the 12th. Other schools begin around that same time. So we're going to look at what our attendance looks like as we get back into that school time, as things progress. Just kind of see what attendance looks like and try and make some decisions as we go along. We figure that with school starting back, there could be a chance of corona numbers starting to rise. And so we want to be careful of that as well as we move into this. But for the time being, again, we kind of felt like for right now, at least for the next couple of weeks, we're going to continue with a 9 o'clock Sunday school time and one service at 10. Continue to evaluate what our numbers look like. If we see a large number of attendance rise, then we'll make that decision based on what the numbers look like to go to, again, a 2 worship service time. We don't want to react too quickly. We just kind of want to see where things go as we move along here. And with that, what we're planning on doing at this point is probably the Sunday after Labor Day, which will be September 13th. We're looking at, that might be the day where we go to the 8:30 worship, 9:45 Sunday school, and 11 o'clock worship to go back to a normal time. So we're kind of evaluating that, looking at that. So again, looking at September 13th, kind of being a target date. If we continue to see our numbers kind of hovering around 150, maybe 170, 180, we may continue with the one service even at that point, but we're going to continue to pray through that, watch that, look those numbers, see how that type of thing goes, all right? So this Sunday, August the 2nd, we are going to do something that may be a little bit different, and I just want to kind of give you a heads up with this. Beginning this Sunday, we're going to heavily encourage people to wear masks in the building, kind of starting with 3rd grade and up. That's kind of what Kingfisher Schools has decided to do with 3rd grade and up, wearing a mask when they're in the school building. We're kind of looking at using that same type of model, being 3rd grade and up, encouraging people to wear a mask. So if you have a mask, I ask if you would, go ahead and wear it when you get here. If you don't have one, we'll try to have some at the doors. That way, just to make folks feel comfortable. There are some who may be uncomfortable wearing a mask, some who are comfortable if more folks would wear a mask. So we're just going to try to meet that. But here's what I'm going to ask you to do. As your pastor, I'm going to try to lead out in this. I'm going to wear a mask in the worship time. Now, I'll probably take it off during the announcements and during the sermon time so you can better understand what I'm saying. But I'm asking for our leadership. I'm asking for our Sunday school leadership, from our staff, our deacons, our committee leaders, from your pastor. We're going to step up and we're going to set the standard. We're going to wear a mask those days, so please be aware of that. Also, we have hand sanitizer throughout the building, so when you get here, go ahead and put some in your hands, rub it together. We want to do our best to make sure that folks are safe, folks feel comfortable in our facilities. We ask that masks be worn in Sunday school classes as well, that the best we can to try social distance in Sunday school. I know it's not always easy, but please help us out with that. Here in the sanctuary, we're going to do our best to kind of spread out as best we can. We're going to have ushers try and do our best to try to strategically sit people to try and make sure we're not getting too bunched together. Another thing we're going to do, and again, I ask if you would help us out with this. This is such a big deal that you help us out too. We're going to have, at the end of service, to keep from bottlenecking at the end in the entrances, we're going to have our ushers exit people out of the building, again, just so we don't bottleneck. And in that, for the folks who want to fellowship, to either go outside the building or maybe go to the gathering and space out in there. Matter of fact, you'll see on this video as well right here, we're going to have the gathering again set up for social distancing. Plenty of space in the gathering. We have the screen right there. You can watch the service. The sound system works great. You might say, why would I sit in the gathering when I can just watch this at home? Well, you can come to the gathering and watch it and still be around some folks who may not be in your house. So we're trying to make this as easy, as conducive for every person to be able to come to church, feel safe, feel comfortable as we move through all this stuff here. Folks, here's the thing today. I realize we're living in very difficult times. And hear me today, there are no perfect answers. There's not a perfect answer for all these things. However, I do know we serve a perfect God who knows all the details. And so here's the thing, church. We're just praying through this. We're just praying through how God would lead us in this. And so I want to encourage you, share this video, encourage with other people. And here's the thing. If we'll show up this Sunday, number one, ready to exalt Christ. Number two, ready to encourage somebody else. And if encouraging somebody else helps me wear a mask, here's the thing. That's what we're here to do. We're here to exalt Christ and encourage others. So I want to encourage you this Sunday. If you feel like you can be here, hey, show up this Sunday. If you feel sick, don't show up. But I want to remind you again, we do have the 3 platforms that allow us to put our services online with Facebook, with the church website, and with YouTube. So please check those out. If you have any questions about how to use those things, if you know of somebody who has questions on how to use those things, let us know. We can get somebody there to help them figure that out, and that would be a great benefit for all of our people. But if you show up this Sunday, I want to encourage you, wear a mask. Let that be an encouragement to somebody else as we give praise to God. Hey, love y'all so much. Have an awesome day, and God bless.